This video is supported by patrons like you. If you'd like to become a patron, please head over to patreon.com/Matt Jarbo. Just $1 per month is a great way to say F you to the Access Media. So let me just start off by saying that I am a cord cutter. I have been for almost 10 years. I never, ever want to get a cable package ever again. I find it to be just abhorrently overpriced, with 95% of the crap that I don't want to see is what I have to pay for. I've asked my congressman to support an a la carte bill in order to give us that type of a la carte cable package, which they had talked about for many years. And when they chose to not act on it because obviously of big money coming in from the telecom industries, I opted out of supporting them. I simply just go streaming, and I have now for nearly a decade. And like I said, totally happy, totally content with it. However, there is going to be a massive problem coming on the horizon, and it's going to be done by telecom companies who have already used their lobbying and political power to carve up this country worse than a terrible Thanksgiving turkey. And if you don't know about that, you really should. Have you ever wondered in your area why you might have Comcast or AT&T or Cox Communications or any of the other ones out there, right? You go, man, I really hate this particular company, but they're all I have. They're all I have access to outside of some smaller telecom companies that don't have the same amount of amenities or features. Or why is it that my bill keeps going up every single year, even though the service itself doesn't actually increase or decrease? It doesn't change, but yet the money still goes up. Well, it's because telecom companies, AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, all these people, they have gone in and they have carved up the country. They have carved up the country by using the government to allow them to do it. They've kind of, if I had to put it out there, they gerrymandered the country a little bit. And most people are aware of it, but they go, well, what are you going to do? What are you gonna do? No, it's terrible. Like when I lived in San Diego, I had Cox Communications, which I actually like. Then I moved to Los Angeles and I had to do Time Warner, which was terrible, terrible. Then I moved to the Northwest and it's all Comcast. It's all Comcast, and I pay so much money per month for just internet and phone. I'm talking $140 a month for internet and phone. It's terrible, and I hate it. But since the internet's my business, I don't really have much of a choice in regards to that. So that's my situation. But when it comes to streaming, this is where the problem is going to start moving, and we're starting to see this a little bit. So with Netflix currently fighting back against telecom companies that want to start trying to charge them more money for bandwidth usage and therefore pass that savings on to you, we're seeing today that AT&T is going to be offering HBO Max for free to HBO subscribers that have AT&T, very much trying to keep it in the family. And they're going to use it as a marketing tool in order to get people to come over and sign up for AT&T. You ever had AT&T as a phone service? They're terrible. They're terrible. They're terrible. They're bad. I don't like them. I used to have them. I hate them. But this is now going to be the norm since telecom companies figured out a way to carve up the country in regards to how they service it with broadband. Because, God forbid we get fiber in many of the places out there. I mean, God forbid internet becomes a human right, which it totally should, because, or become a public utility is what I want to say, because that would make it so we'd have more competitive rates and more people entering the marketplace, and it would be a much more freer and fairer system. But then again, getting money out of politics is kind of a big part of, not getting money out of politics is kind of a big part of all of this. But what we're seeing here is not only HBO doing that with AT&T and HBO Max, but Verizon. Verizon is going to be offering a year of Disney Plus to Verizon subscribers. And there was a theory for a while there that when Disney was going to be purchasing or making Disney Plus, that for a while they had talked a little bit about purchasing Twitter, which is actually in Iger's autobiography. And then they'd also talked a bit about buying up or working with, I think it was like going to be buying up a telecom company. That there was one that was for sale or something that was going to happen, and they were going to go in and they were going to buy that. And if they were going to go and they were going to buy a telecom company, in order to then sell Disney Plus, right? It seems like something Disney would do, like Iger would do. In fact, the reason why he wanted to buy Twitter was because they looked at Twitter as being a great vehicle in order to sell their products to their consumers. That's what they wanted it for. Then he realized that it was a terrible, disgusting place that you shouldn't follow me at mjarbo, and they opted out of doing it. But now what we're seeing is they're teaming up with Verizon, or Verizon is paying them an exorbitant amount of money to offer this as an exclusive through their network, further carving it out amongst those subscribers. And that is where the next element of things are going to be. As more and more people get into streaming, as more and more people start watching from their mobile devices, that's going to start taking up cellular data. So why not have these companies, if they can't force the government to tax these companies, why not then work with them in order to make a deal to get more people coming on in? Because that's all what it's going to boil down to. These are just now trying to carve up streaming services, kind of, in order to push cellular subscriptions, because that's where a lot of money comes from. Like I said, I pay $140 a month to Comcast. I pay $140 a month to T-Mobile for 2 lines of unlimited data. This is so much money. So much money. And that's exactly why they're doing it. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. Like I said, the internet should be a public utility. We all use it as part of our everyday life. It absolutely positively is a necessary requirement to live in this world, not just this country, but this world. And these telecom companies are realizing that they're losing the battle in regards to cable subscriptions, that they're losing that battle, that streaming is the next battlefront. And so they're or the next theater of war, so to speak. So they're getting ready to once again work deals to start carving things away. And don't be surprised if down the road you find out that your favorite streaming service, maybe it's going to be HBO Max because they're owned by AT&T, now suddenly doesn't work on a T-Mobile device or a Verizon device because they're not in the network, or they're they want to keep it in their own thing. Don't be surprised if that happens, because I won't be. Because that's exactly where it's going to go. And the thing here, if you want to know what you can do about it, it would be to pressure your congressman, your senator, your representative about trying to make the internet a public utility. It never gets brought up, but it absolutely should. And we pay a lot of money, not just me, but a lot of people pay a lot of money every single month for their data, for their phone, for their internet. And if you notice, it's always going up, and you're always kind of being further boxed in. It's like that old analogy of putting in a frog in a boiling pot of water. Slower you turn it up, frog doesn't know it's being boiled alive. That's kind of how I see the situation right now. And that's where the streaming wars are going to take us. Anyway, I just wanted to put my thoughts out there on this one. It's kind of an off the cuff rant. Your thoughts, your opinions, let me know down in the comments below. I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.